Check it.
What do you mean it's nice during the winter? It's fall right now and it's still hot as shit in here.
Well, that's because there's 2 men in here. There should only be one.
Only should be one. Well, where else are we gonna go?
The library.
Okay.
What?
How are we gonna record a podcast at the library?
Well, they have private rooms in a library, like meeting rooms.
You know, I never considered that to be a real option. Are they nice? Are
I
they
mean-
tolerable?
I mean, the ones nearby, like, they're okay, I guess. I mean, I have access to them, but the only problem is we get kind of loud. I don't know. You're supposed to be quiet at a library.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know if they'd appreciate our talks about how many times we've nutted during No Nut November.
Wow. All right. Anyway, so welcome to the Lucky 13.
Hey,
podcast.
guys, I'm Ben from the Lucky 13 podcast. Sitting in front of me,
Is Jacob.
and I'm Ben.
Wait,
All
you
right.
just like totally swiped this,
I sure did. Jacob, how was your week this
That's
week?
why you did it.
Yep, I
You
sure did. Now you have to
sly
answer the
dog.
question.
Wow. I'm actually impressed that you thought that far ahead. I'm genuinely impressed. I've been all right. So I know here we don't really like we talk about games sometimes.
Yeah.
Not like often.
Mhm.
Sorry, I gotta cough one more time. So we talk about games sometimes, but not like crazy often, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that right now
Okay.
because I want to talk about a game.
Okay, sure.
And
What
if
game
you don't
is it?
want to listen, you can skip forward. That's fine. But please
can,
don't.
Can I skip forward, please?
No.
Fuck.
So anyway, I've been kind of obsessed with this game recently.
Well, which game?
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with that? At all?
Isn't that the game that didn't do so well?
I don't know. I have no idea how well it did. I just really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
So like, rundown. It is a RPG, an action RPG like Skyrim or Fallout.
I'm sold.
I actually think you would like this game. But like it is an action RPG that takes place in a highly realistic medieval world.
Mm.
So it's like actual medieval, not like magic and sorcery and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just really good. And like I was kind of worried it was going to be like, you know how like realistic, like you know Escape from Tarkov, right? You at least know of it?
I know of it.
So you know, like the point of that game is like it's meant to be like super hardcore realistic, right? Like
Like
military.
Arma or
Yes, like Arma.
Okay.
yeah. And I was worried this was gonna be like medieval Arma.
That sounds bad.
Yes. And I was surprisingly caught off guard by how it is not that. It's still like a video game.
Oh, okay.
Like it's still fun. It's just like because I was worried at first because I knew a little bit that this was meant to be like really realistic.
Mhm.
And then I got worried when I was playing it because there's a whole section of your menu called the Codex. And it is just pages and pages of
Technique.
lore of like medieval Europe, what jobs did, where they would be, talking about like, and I mean everything.
So when you say lore, you mean history.
Sorry, yeah, history. Like this is like a real history textbook like, in this video game.
Yeah.
So like it's talking about like what jobs would do during this specific time and how prevalent they would be and how many, like how they would interact with other jobs. Like even talking about like charcoal burners, like people who make charcoal.
Yeah.
And they even care about the realistic level of that of like, well, part of making charcoal you need to be near water. So like camps where people's jobs are to make charcoal are specifically near sources of water. Or or there's parts of this codex that are just like actual history of like Bohemia, like this king was brothers with this king and they fought over this kingdom and that's how it plays into this. So I was like, oh fuck. No, this is, oh my god.
That's how they got you.
Yeah.
You're into history. You're in a
Medieval era.
Yeah.
Medieval Europe. And then the game took me for a loop by being an actual video game and being actually a lot of fun. Like I've poured 50 hours into this game already over the course of a week. Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
I've
it's
gone
quite a lot.
really into this and it's a lot of fun. I think I don't know if I'm terribly far into the story because I keep getting sidetracked, which totally reminds me of like a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
Like totally ignoring the main story of the game.
Just doing side quests, yeah.
But I think the moment I was sold was one of the main quests. So quick rundown of the story is you are the son of a blacksmith, right?
Sure.
And so you're like a commoner, you're a peasant, you got no claim to fame, you're not a knight, you're not nobody.
Yeah.
You're a literal nobody.
Started from the bottom.
And now we hear. So you're nobody, and then your village gets attacked. And
As you do.
but like your village gets like ransacked. Like it's not just like, oh, we got attacked, haha.
Yeah,
No,
hey,
everybody
that
you know
happens
is
here.
dead.
Yeah.
Everybody you know is dead. Your family's killed in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And and you like have to you have to like escape from your homeland. You got like the whole 9 yards, and that sends you on this rip-roaring adventure where you become the squire of like a lord. And anyway, so eventually as the quests go on, you kind of go through the tutorial, which the tutorial is really fucking long. I gotta admit, it's a little long.
That's a critique.
It's a critique, but I understand why, because there's a lot you need to know. Because the game's not complicated, but there is like layers to it.
Yeah.
So you eventually reach the point, and this was the quest that I knew was like, I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna play this game for a long time.
I'm in.
Because through a series of events, you have to go. You follow the captain of the guard. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Captain of the guard for this town you're staying in.
Yeah.
To go assist on this investigation of, they're called groomers, but people who raise and train horses.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got attacked, and like these bandits came through, and they didn't just steal stuff; they just murdered people and killed horses.
Yeah,
like senseless violence. And so now you're kind of stuck there, being like, "Well, what the fuck? What happened?"
Yeah,
you're trying to figure it out, and you end up tracking a lead into this town, and he's like your only lead. Like no matter what you do in this game, which is something really cool about it, is you can solve quests whatever way you think of. Like 9 times out of 10, anything I've thought of, like, no, they won't think about that. It has something ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so but no matter what for this quest, all trails lead to this one guy in this other village. And when you get there, you like stroll into town on your horse, and you see a big commotion in front of a building.
Mm-hmm.
And you show up, and there's a bunch of people talking there, and you're like, oh, I'm from whatever lord. I'm here to investigate a thing. I think my guy's here. And then the city guard guy is just kind of looks over at like the priests, and they kind of look over at you, and they go, are you sure that's the guy you're looking for? And they go, yeah. And they're like, well, here he is. And they open the door, and the dude's been crucified to his wall. Like guts are hanging out. He's been gutted.
Uh-huh.
And your character's like, fuck, that was my one lead. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's talked to the local head priest. So, I mean, I guess you can go ask him if you want. So then you go and talk to the local head priest. And this is the best character in the game so far.
The priest?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because you go and talk to him. His name is Priest Goodwin.
Oh, Priest Goodwin.
Godwin. Priest Godwin.
Oh, I mean, perfect. Name for a priest.
Right? Not really. Because you go and meet with him, and you're like, hey, look, I need to know what this guy told you in confession or whatever. And he's like, I can't do that. Big JC up there will be mad, right?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be pissed.
He's going to be pissed. But he's like, we'll tell you what. How about we go meet at the tavern, we can have a couple drinks, and maybe we can figure something out. So I'm like, man, I'm going to have to do a quest where I got to become like a choir boy, or like I got to now join the church or something. Because I know that is a part of this game somewhere, is you like join the church and you can like interact that way.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is how it's going to start, right?
Yeah.
Blindsided. Nope. I show up to the tavern. He's got one bitch on his right hand side and like a mug of beer in his left hand. And I'm like, wait a minute.
My man.
I thought this was a man of the cloth. So then you sit down and you proceed to then have multiple drinks with this priest. Like you get hammered with him.
Uh-huh.
To the point where like you and a couple of the wenches from the local tavern are like, yo, what if we go in the church and we just start ringing the bell at like midnight? We'll just wake everybody up. Like, fuck them. Like, we'll just like mess with them. So then you go and do that. And then you get into a bar fight with like the local like town guard, and you beat the shit out of them with the priest. And then you like end up in the stables, and then you like have sex with these two like tavern wenches. Like you can see the priest off to the side, like plowing down.
Uh-huh.
And then you wake up with a hangover with him in the morning, and he realizes like, oh fuck, I gotta give mass today. You're gonna give mass for me. I'm too fucked up. I can't do it. So then you have to go while you're also hungover and go give mass in this church. And you can stand there and be as belligerent as you want to be like, yo, fuck the parish, man. I don't give a shit.
Holy shit.
I was like, this is the best quest I've ever seen.
This is like medieval GTA.
That's what I thought too. Like, I didn't expect to be hitting a GTA quest in the middle of this. But like, you can do so well because your actions were so extreme the night before. Like when you walk into the church, because you got to help the priest because he's so drunk, he's like leaning on you. You can hear like murmurs of people being like, I'm surprised he could walk in today after how late up he was last night, and just everybody's being super judgmental.
Yeah.
You can do so well in your sermon that you can win them back over. You can make them be like, you know what? He's one of us. He can go ahead and, you know, have at the tavern wench. That's what I do on a Friday night. I can't blame him too much. So you can literally win them back for him.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, yo, Henry. And he like it's like a fist bump moment. Like, you two are like bros for life. And I'm like, this is the best character in this whole fucking game.
Man, my man Godwin over here.
Godwin, yeah.
Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And it's just a surprisingly cool quest with a surprisingly cool character, and it just totally caught me off guard. Like, everything's super realistic, but they still make it fun.
Yeah,
They still make it like a lot of fun. Like, you have a horse throughout the entire game. Well, after a certain point, you get a horse, and I was like, man, this is gonna suck because I need the horse to get around, but I'm sure I'm gonna have to manage, and I'm gonna have to feed this thing, and I gotta do X, Y, Z. Nah, the horse is a button. You hit the button, the horse appears behind you out of nowhere. If you don't want to use the horse anymore, you just jump off and you can walk away. You don't got to manage that baby at all. It knows that would be annoying, so it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Or there's just so many other things that are just like, either the game is really smart or it knew that would be annoying, so it doesn't do it.
Yeah.
In the regard of it being smart, I did one quest where I had to find this guy. Different guy than the other guy who was dead on his wall. Not that guy. Different guy.
Different guy, yeah.
Yeah. But I had to go find him, and he was friends with the local coal burners.
Okay.
You know, the people who make charcoal.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess part of their lore, their history of being charcoal burners, is they're all super tight, and they don't snitch.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant by super tight, like they were very like slim bodied.
No. They don't snitch. They don't tell anybody anything about one of their own.
Okay.
So they wouldn't tell me anything.
They're not rats.
No. So I got run around by 3 different charcoal burner camps, being sent to all of them. And by the time I got to like the 3rd one, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to this first one. And then I went and talked to the guy, and he's like, oh, I think they're at, no, man, I was there already. He's like, okay, fine. You were there. Yeah. The guy you're looking for has been here, but he's not here no more. And I ain't going to tell you. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? So then he sends you to go kill some bandits, and you can go do that. But combat in this game is really hard. Like, it's really difficult. Like, it's really involved.
Yeah.
Because there's like sword stances, and like archery is kind of difficult, and combat, it takes finesse. Like, you can't just power through it. You kind of got to know how to actually fight.
Yeah, you can't stealth archery like in Skyrim.
You can stealth archer.
Okay.
But it's not overpowered. Because it's really hard to use a bow. Like, when you use the bow wavers back and forth.
Yeah.
And you don't have a reticle.
Interesting.
So you got to like know how to actually shoot.
Yeah.
So that's how they like stop you from like power gaming too hard, is by making that combat actually involved. But anyway, so then I kill these 2 bandits. And then I was like, man, I'm almost dead. All my armor is broken. My sword's broken in half. Fuck this. I'm going to go back to town. I'm going to go clean up. I'm going to get my stuff fixed. And I'm going to come back and finish this quest. So then I went and did that. And the game saw that coming. Because when I came back and I went up to the guy, I was like, yeah, I killed your 2 guys. The audacity of this man, he looked me in the eye and said, you don't look like you've been in a fight. Because I just went and got cleaned up.
Yeah.
And so then I had to pass a speech check to convince him, like, no, I actually did this. You can go find their bodies in the woods. He's like, yeah, okay. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Wow, this game's like, sounds like it was like a combination of Bethesda and Rockstar, you know?
Yeah, but like the best parts of both of them.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like the clunkiness of a GTA game, but you also don't have like all the bugs from the Bethesda game.
Ooh, yeah.
you know. So like it's like I don't know. I actually think you'd really like this. It does, like I said, it doesn't have all of the magic from Skyrim, which is a shame. I would actually love to see a game like this in a universe like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Where that extra level's added to see how it'd be woven in realistically.
Right.
Because the farthest magic goes is like medieval interpretations of magic. So like you can learn alchemy to like make like potions and stuff.
Right.
And all the alchemists you meet are like old women who live in the woods who've been ostracized by their own villages and are like on the verge of being called witches. And like you can do a quest where one, like depending on how you end, I think you can literally have the alchemist like burned at the stake for being a witch.
Oh, okay.
Even though she just made some LSD for these other peasant women. I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Different story.
Different story. You go on a drug trip. It's kind of funny. You maybe fuck a cow.
Oh,
maybe.
Fun.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyway, but yeah, it's just a trip. I've fallen in love with this game, and I really hope there's gonna be a sequel at some point. But this game's from like 2018, so I don't know. It's kind of old.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, games take time. You know,
Yeah, they do.
Good quality games, they take time.
They really do, though.
Yeah, they really do. But you know, that's good. At least you're enjoying it. You know, I know
I am.
You've been through a couple games recently, and you know they just haven't met your expectations.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Like even Far Cry's been kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Far Cry 6. I mean, I think it's the best Far Cry so far,
I
but
agree.
that's not really a. I mean,
That's
that's
not
such a
high bar.
low bar, you know,
Yeah.
or high bar. I don't know, whatever bar it is. Fucking, I ran into it either way, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a Far Cry game, you know. Who cares?
Well, even the bad guy, Breaking Bad man, Gustavo.
God, what an absolute waste. If you're gonna get fucking Giancarlo Esposito, at least have him be interesting. He's just so fucking one dimensional. He's comically villainous.
He really is.
Like
He really is.
what did he do last? Didn't he torture us?
You mean when we last played? When we were
Yeah.
playing on. Yeah. So I think the last time we saw him, we had been captured during a side quest that totally caught us off guard.
Okay, now that was cool. I'll admit that was cool.
That was cool. But we had gotten captured, and like we're about to be like murked.
Yes.
And then Giancarlo Esposito's character's son, Diego, who we had saved at one time or spared or whatever.
Yeah.
Like as we're about to be killed, he then pulls a gat and kills this other guy who's about to kill us.
The army general.
The army general. Yes, I forgot about that part. And he's like, "Yo, Dad, nuh-uh, not this one. Not the main character. He's pretty cool." And so then Giancarlo Esposito's just like, "Of course, mijo, of course." And they start walking out, and then he pulls a grenade from behind his back and like underhand chucks that shit right in the room we're in, like behind him, as if Diego's not gonna notice the giant explosion.
And hear the giant explosion.
Yeah,
Just
and,
like psych.
yeah. I think you even yelled that like it was a hot psych bitch moment.
Yeah.
He just checks that shit right behind him, and then you like use the general's body for cover, and then we escape.
Yeah.
But like it's like I can't I don't even understand what he's like trying to do. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm gonna be an asshole for no reason. Haha.
I think the bad guy from 5 had more like reasoning for what he does than this guy.
He just wants power. That's it. And it's still much better reasoning than what we're learning for 6. I don't understand.
Well,
He's just, I'm bad. Mwahahaha.
yeah.
I don't-
like at the start of the game when you're on the boat of people trying to escape. Sorry, it's hot in here.
Yeah.
On the people who are trying to escape, and then he like spouts this story about how you go fishing with his dad, and how sometimes he let the fish go, or sometimes, and then he's like, "But this fish I won't let go. Seal the hatches, riddle the side with bullets, sink sink the ship with people in it." It's just like, what the fuck?
Like,
What's
okay.
wrong with you? Whereas I think like the whole marketing was supposed to sell him on this man who's like, I believe so hard in the freedom of my people that like anything justifies that, like the means are worth the ends.
Like, yeah, I legitimately thought from marketing that I saw with him, it's just like, oh, he's gonna be that guy. It's just like, oh, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know, but he's the one that realizes like, hey, you got to do fucked up shit
It's
in
the
order to get
inverse.
shit done.
Yeah, if you want the good outcome, I'll do anything it takes.
Yeah, and that's legitimately where I thought the story was going. But everything that we've seen so far is just
He's an evil asshole.
he's just evil.
He's like a mustache twirling asshole.
Yeah. Do you know his name? What is his name?
Anton
Castillo.
Castillo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. And this whole subplot of like the cancer drug that he has, and like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know where any of this is going.
Yeah, I don't know. The characters that we've met. Ooh, these latest characters we've met. You got mad.
I did.
You got really mad.
What was that character's name? Do you remember?
Bicho? I think it was Bicho.
Bicho,
right?
maybe? I hate him.
Well, he's just an annoying fat character.
Well, he's meant to be a comic relief character.
Yes.
And man, I have my personal opinion on comic relief characters is you can either land them excellently or you fuck them up entirely.
Oh yeah.
It is purely parallel. Because either it works and people connect and they love them, but if they don't, then they're just a huge hindrance to anything else that happens.
Yeah.
And Bicho, he missed the mark so hard.
Yeah, he didn't even bother swinging. He just came out, fucking landed fucking face first on home plate. He
flopped right into that pool and just, it was bad.
Yeah, that was...
Because we had to do a whole quest where we got drunk with him, which I remind you is the same as the quest I just praised.
Oh, yeah.
Kingdom Come. It's a quest where you go and you get drunk with someone, right? Uh-huh. But that one was fun.
Ironically, that one was an escort mission that we did. Yeah. It was a drunken escort mission.
The worst combination of missions you can do.
My favorite.
Escort's pretty bad. And then you add the drunkenness to it. Ugh. But not like in contrast, like that Kingdom Come quest, it didn't ask me to do anything. I just got to go along for the ride and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like they understood that this is going to get silly and making you do stuff during it's going to be kind of weird. But like also give you something to do at the end that kind of like this is what has been building up to.
Right.
And it's also a funny scenario having to give mass while you're also super hungover. And the priest is also hungover with you.
Boy, that's an interesting Sunday.
It is an interesting Sunday. Whereas like the one with Bicho is just like, can you just fucking stop talking?
Oh, he was a depressed drunk.
Yeah.
It just wasn't even funny.
No, there's nothing funny about that.
Yeah, it's just reminds me too much of myself.
Yikes.
But yeah, I mean, do you care much of the story of Far Cry 6 at all?
I did when we started.
Me too.
But now I'm just the more we play, the less interested I become. And I think that's been everybody's consensus with it so far.
Yeah, they just gameplay is very slightly elevated, but
I think it's a lot better than 5 actually.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been worth it so far.
No, it's just I mean, it's fun to play, but
it is fun to play.
I don't really care what we're doing. It's just it is literally Far Cry 6 madness. Should be dropping soon. Keep an eye out for that.
God,
but
I respect this man's need to plug it every moment, every opportunity.
If it fits, I'm gonna try to fit it in as good as I can. God damn it,
hole.
I'm gonna try.
But yeah, no, like 6. I know what's going on because I can't help but know what's going on.
Yeah,
because I have to replay every mission twice because co-op is still fucked in Far Cry games.
Yeah.
So I know what's happening. I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Like the most fun I have is whenever we're playing and then I think of something random or goofy to do, like trying to shoot people while hanging off the bottom of the helicopter by a zip line.
Yeah.
Or we run into the middle of a tobacco field and I have nothing but flame weaponry equipped, and we're fighting the middle of a burning abyss.
We have to do drive-bys with your fucking flamethrower.
We did drive-bys with my fucking armor-piercing Gatling gun, explosive tip Gatling gun.
Yeah,
I generally didn't think the game would let me do that. That alone went up a whole point in my book.
It is now a D+. D+.
Still D-.
Ooh.
It was an F+ before. So.
Okay, well, at least we're at a D- though.
D-. That's passing.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of. I mean, I'll take it for me in my book anyway.
But yeah, I'm just disappointed with 6 so far.
Yeah, I can't wait till we finish that. I can't wait.
Because I mean, we're still like kind of just a little more than a third of the way through the game.
I think we're
a quarter.
Yeah, I know. We have to be more than a quarter at least because we're at the second part. There's only one more part that we need to clear, and then I think we can attack the main person.
Yeah.
So
I'm at least holding out until we meet the third group.
He sounded interesting, El Tigre.
Yeah.
And he when he called us, I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Yo, dude."
He's been the first character that's been excited to meet us.
Yeah, everyone else has just been, "Oh boy, these fucking Libertad." whatever our group
yeah.
is. Oh, it's one of those assholes. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, fuck, another Guria's here.
Yeah, just like, I'm here to fucking help you. What's your issue?
Yeah.
I'm not even asking for payment.
Yeah, no,
Just
I'm
like-
doing this for free for you.
I'm-
Like that second group we met that's led by
Oh
the,
my
the
God.
DJ couple.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Oh
They're
my
the most
God.
ungrateful like people I've ever helped in a game ever. Like I don't like I'm okay with some realism in my games of like not everybody want to suck your dick for doing like one quest for them, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Uh-huh.
The amount of ungrateful like spite when they talk to you. Oh. If their like fat like roadie friend had been there, I would have hated them the most. Like, and then they do stupid shit like they steal Anton Castillo's horse that looks like a zebra, and then she threatens it at gunpoint because she's trying to ride a horse bareback. Stupid bitch. Like, the horse doesn't know what a gun is. Are you stupid?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Dumb shit like that. And even like the first group, like the mechanic, what's his name? Philly?
Philly, yes.
Philly Magic.
Philly Magic, baby.
I hate that guy. Like the best part about him is he has chorizo.
His puppy?
Yeah, his dog that's now my dog.
Yeah.
He becomes our dog.
I mean,
Like I don't even like I remember when we played 5.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5. I don't remember any of the names of those characters.
Nope.
But I'd rather they leave no impression than a bad impression.
because now we're talking shit about the main characters in Far Cry 6.
Right?
Far
Like,
Cry 5, there's not much to talk about
like
besides...
there was indifference there.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of fun to play. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
This, I'll be like, yeah, the game's fun to play, but God, the story is awful.
Yeah, it's really boring.
Yeah.
Uninteresting, uninspired.
I can't think
Lacking-
of a character I genuinely am like, I like this one. Like even like Jose is that his name? Juan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
CIA dude.
Yeah, the guy who's like your mentor figure for the game.
Yeah.
Fucking, I wish he stopped talking.
Rule number 9, Danny.
What's rule number 9? Can you remember?
Oh, shit. Isn't it like making your own...
The
gun?
right tool for the right job.
How do you remember? You remember rule number 9?
Of course, because they say it fucking 40 times in the first hour of this game.
Yeah, that's genuinely true. He does say it a lot.
Danny, the right tool for the right job.
Would you shut up? Why?
And
Please.
his incessant need for depleted uranium. How depleted uranium plays into half of the weapons he makes for you. God, I don't know.
Oh, shit, it's good we fucking found the cure for cancer, because after handling all that shit, I'm gonna need it.
Look, I don't know how using depleted uranium applies to my like engine mounted like machine gun or my flamethrower, but thanks.
Well, yeah, that's the ammo.
We're running a lot more depleted uranium at the rate I use that bad boy. There's a lot of helicopters to shoot down.
There sure are. But yeah, that's our experience with Far Cry 6, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
there's not much more to say.
not really. No.
Yeah. And if you want to watch it live, resource 13_13. I already fucked up the plug. You already know what it is.
It's on Twitch. Look
It's
for
on
us.
Twitch. Look for us on Twitch.
There's a link on one of the YouTube videos that after you watch the video, then you click on the link.
Yep, I don't know.
Please.
I already
Just go
said
watch
enough
stuff.
plugs. I can't handhold you guys. You got to figure it out yourselves.
But anyway, that's all. I guess that's all that's been up for me.
Yeah.
Now we got to come back to
cool.
you, my man.
No,
Yeah, we do.
No.
Come on. I'm
no,
not
because
following
when I started, it just kind of segues into that, and then you don't get to talk about what you talk about. So
That's fair.
now you segue into something else.
No, man. Now you got to bring something.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, because I have something I've been dying to talk about.
All right.
And I want you to... All right, so yes, there is something I've been dying to talk to you about, Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And I want everyone to know of our experience in our personal finance class with Mr. A.
So I got to ask, where is this coming from all of a sudden?
Because I had a memory of the Play-Doh incident.
Oh my god.
And I wanted you to share that because that comes up to me like so often that I just want to hear this story
You
again.
want to hear the story?
Yeah.
I was a cold-hearted asshole to this guy.
You were a cold hard motherfucker back then, dude. Even now I'm just like, whoa, Jacob, calm down.
You're really selling this story to be way more intense. So anyway, so we had personal finance, and in and of itself, that's a wild ass class.
Yes.
A lot happened in that class. It's not the worst math class I've ever had. Pretty close though.
What?
Another day.
Okay, sure.
But anyway, so the way we were seeing, we got shuffled around a lot, and so during one point during the year, this guy who was a friend of a friend or a mutual friend or
Something like that.
I don't even know how to describe him really. He was a guy that our friend group knew.
Yes, we just knew.
I'm gonna call him Tony.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, Tony. Let's just go with Tony.
Sure.
You know. Anyway, so Tony was a bit of a spaz, I'm gonna be honest with you. he was like I don't know what his deal was, but he just liked trying to push the envelope.
Oh, he sure did. He really did.
And so like for example, for a while there were two different times that he sat behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I think during, I want to say the midpoint of the year and then during the end. During the midpoint of the year, I used to have this haircut where like I had a lot of long hair, so I just wore in kind of like a man bun in the back of my head.
Yeah.
And fucking Tony here would just he sat behind me and just randomly during class, he just flick it. He just flicked my like.
Oh, I thought he tugged on it. That
too. He just messed with it. And never in my life had I more than ever wanted to spin around my chair and just backhand someone in their face. Because I would tell Tony all the time, be like, Tony, fucking stop it.
but did you tell him just like, dude, stop, or did you tell him like, can you stop? You know, there's different intonations with those.
I did start very much like, hey, can you stop? You know, like ha ha ha, very funny, but like, can you like knock it off? And he kept doing it. I'd be like, can you just fucking stop? Still would keep doing it, but eventually we moved seats, so I was like, whatever, no big deal. And then we moved seats again. He was behind me again.
Oh, the fateful day.
And I admit by this point I was fucking sick of him. Because he was a friend of our mutual friend group. I don't think anyone really liked him because he was just very obnoxious. He'd do that kind of shit all the time for everybody.
Yeah.
But then for some goddamn reason, he came in one day with Play-Doh.
I don't know if it was like Play-Doh. It was something similar to Play-Doh. Okay.
He had it like in the Play-Doh egg and everything.
Oh, okay.
But it was like 2 or 3 eggs worth of like it was a lot of Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enough to still fit in one of the mid-sized eggs. Anyway, it's not important how much Play-Doh there was. He just kept fucking around with it. And like he kept doing that thing where you can take like a piece of text and then you can like push the Play-Doh onto it and then the text transfers over to it.
All right.
Like it gets imprinted onto it.
Yeah.
Just doing that shit. And he was sitting there playing with it, and then I had a devious idea. I had this like if I had killed him, this would have been like preemptive homicide. Like I would have thought about it. And so I had a devious idea. So then I turned to him, and you know I put all my stats into charisma, and I looked at Tony. I was like, "Dude, is that Play-Doh?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, dude, can I see?" So then he hands it to me, and I'm sitting there looking at it. You know, I'm like turning it over in my hands, and I'm looking at it. And then I look up, and I look him in the eye. And I kind of squished around a little bit, and I'm looking him in the eye, and I got one big clump, like in kind of a discus-shaped clump. And then I held it up, and I went, "Go fetch." And I flicked my wrist as hard as I can. So it went flying across the room.
I swear, you didn't flick it. You actually chucked that shit like a baseball.
I don't remember how, but I had thrown it across the room. And it had landed behind a bookshelf, like a metal bookshelf.
Behind Mr. A's desk.
Oh, yeah, it was behind Mr. A's desk. And I make eye contact with the whole time because I was just so fucking sick of the dumb shit he do. And then I just turned around. I went back to my thing. And he just had this look on his face of like utter betrayal.
And, yeah, I remember I actually caught this in the moment. And I was like looking at this little situation you two were in. And I just remember you turned around and he was just like, he was just so sad and it was just betrayal.
And then he went up to go get it. And immediately I didn't think.
No, he said, "Well, Jacob, go get it."
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said
this part.
Then you said, "No, I'm not going to do that."
God, I was an asshole about this.
Yes.
To be fair, in my opinion, he deserved this. He really did.
Well, I would have understood like if you toss it in like the trash or whatever. Like, no, you seriously made it so difficult for him to get it out because he had to walk over behind Mr. A's desk
while we're in class.
Yeah,
like this is during class.
Mm-hmm.
it was not like before or anything like that. We had like a moment to like.
I think we were like working on our packets or worksheets,
Yeah,
and
we're working
Mr.
on
A was like
packets.
walking around helping.
Yeah, so I had like I had waited.
Yeah.
I had waited for the perfect opportunity to
Mhm.
like when he wasn't like around or like teaching, because obviously I couldn't pull that shit while he's giving a lecture.
No.
But I also knew, there's no way he's gonna fucking be able to go up and go get it now. I think he still did.
He still did.
And Mr. A was like,
Yeah, Mr. A was just like, "Hey, don't do." What are you? By the way,
our teacher's Indian. By
yes,
the way.
he was Indian. My apologies on my very bad accent, but he's just like, "Don't. Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that."
just yelling at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, because he had to reach behind the bookshelf and get his Play-Doh
It
back.
was a metal bookshelf too. It was
Yes.
It was.
He had to maneuver that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you still remember that, because I do forget that story sometimes.
Dude, that memory is forever imprinted in my brain.
I didn't do stuff like that often in high school.
I remember another story where
I
you
was
were a
going to
little
bring
shit.
up this story.
And that one, I think you're very unjustified, personally.
I feel perfectly justified for this.
Sure, let everyone else hear that.
I'll tell this story with pride. 'Cause fuck you.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not pride, but like,
Sure, go ahead.
immediate backpedal. So I was at lunch. I think this was like, it was pretty early on when I was hanging out with your friend group.
Yes.
Because I kind of weaseled into your friend group.
You
through
sure did.
And now it's you and me. So just how that works out. So I weaseled into your little friend group, and I don't even know this guy's name. I really don't.
I do.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me. You'll have to tell me later.
I haven't spoken to him since that incident, to be honest.
But so anyway, like we're just hanging around at lunch, and in my opinion, this guy was starting to be an asshole. Like, let me tell my story. All right?
Okay, I'm gonna let you tell it. I'm gonna
story.
chime in. I'm gonna correct you, but sure, go ahead.
But anyway, to me, he started kind of being a little bit of an asshole, because he kept being in my face about his food. And he had this salad. It was like this chicken salad, like one of those shitty chicken salads that the schools have.
I thought it was okay.
It was pretty bad. Your taste is garbage. You thought that was good.
Okay, shit.
But
Continue.
anyway, he like has this salad open. It's in like this container, and he keeps like putting it in front of my face. And I'm like, "Can you stop?" And he's like, "But look how good my salad is. Like, don't you wish you had this salad?" Because I think I was eating like one of the spicy chicken sandwiches or something.
Uh-huh.
And I just woke up on the grumpy side of the bed that day, and he kept putting it in his face, and it's like an inch in front of my face with the lid open. And so for some reason, I was like, "All right."
You.
I pantomimed the sound of spitting into his salad. I didn't actually spit in his salad.
Oh, good. That makes a difference.
I mean, I think it does, but I can understand how if you're on the receiving end, it's basically doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I will never forget the look of utter disgust and anger in this man's eyes.
Yeah. No shit.
I don't.
I wonder why.
Look, I'm not saying he's not unjustified in his anger at me,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna keep shoving your food in my face after I've already asked you to stop like twice. You've relinquished the right to that salad. That salad is now a communal salad, and I've chosen that communal salad now goes in the trash. And after that point, I never saw him.
We never saw him again after that.
He never hung out with us ever again.
No.
I take personal responsibility for him not coming to see us ever again.
Uh-huh.
But it's his fault for pushing my buttons.
I agree. People just in general shouldn't push your buttons, Jacob. However, I think you should have taken the high ground and perhaps amended that situation, or
How?
Well, first of all, you could have just said, you could have just told him, "Hey, really, don't seriously, don't do that."
I said
Okay.
stop twice.
Okay, all right. You said it twice.
Yes.
Maybe you could have gone for a third one. And you know what? Maybe you don't have to do that. You could have just instead. Okay, you watching me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just walked a little bit further ahead. Just
We were
walked.
sitting. We were sitting.
We were not sitting, Jacob. We were standing.
We were standing.
We were
around
standing in our group
seated
circle.
area.
What?
We had a table out in the quad.
No.
Yes.
No, we did
for
not.
This.
You're gonna correct me on motherfucking I chucked the Play-Doh bullshit. You're gonna correct me on this.
Look, I remember that we had a particular part.
Uh-huh.
Was it the lunchroom?
Oh boy.
Okay, look, we had a particular area we hung out in.
Yes.
That's what the important part of this is.
Yes.
And we were already at like our designated like group area where we like all lurked around.
Uh-huh.
Where else am I gonna go?
Where else are you going to go in our quad area? The open, wide
I'm
outdoor
sitting there
area.
hanging out with you guys. in this-
We are in our group circle. Simply walk around, find a different section of the circle, and proceed to take your place within it.
But I was part of that part of the circle first. I was already there, and he came invaded my space. Like any country under threat, I defended my borders. So don't you tell me, don't you dare correct me on this.
He was in between us, Jacob. I was literally to the right of you.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of walked in there, and I was just like, okay, I'm willing to relinquish this position. That's fine. That's not a fight I'm willing to partake in.
And I was fine with that too until he made aggressive advances on my border of shoving his stupid chicken salad in my face. And also for the record, when I say chicken salad, I mean like it was like a salad with like chunks of chicken on it. It
Yes.
wasn't like a mayo and like
No,
this was like a container with like lettuce and shit in it.
Yeah.
And he just kept shoving
And
my
to be
face.
and I will agree with you, he shouldn't have done that.
No.
However, you shouldn't have pantomimed spitting in his food. That's very rude. And if you did that to me, quite frankly, I would we'd probably still be hanging out, but I'd probably still hold that as a grudge towards you.
Look, and I understand that. Like I said, I do not begrudge this guy for getting mad at me.
Yeah, he's very justified.
He's absolutely justified.
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't have done it in the first place though.
Yes.
That's on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, I'm saying we're both at fault for what had transpired.
Yes.
He's the one that took it like a bitch. And look, man, you want to hang with the dogs, you need thicker skin than that, all right? Like, I'm just saying. Like, I'll admit, I'm an asshole in this scenario, but come on, man. All of us were. Our group was a bunch of little assholes like that.
Yeah, that is very true.
I can't think of any other scenarios, though. Like, those are, like, my two, like, dickish things I ever did in high school. And honestly, I feel pretty justified for both of them. Because I found a non-violent, non-obtrusive way to handle my problems.
It's true. You definitely could have escalated that like to a 10. You could have just like punched him and just
Absolutely. Instead, I found a roundabout solution, and it diffused the situation.
It sure did.
I didn't throw no punches. I didn't get nobody expelled. Nothing.
You're lucky he didn't throw any punches.
Oh, well, then I would have claimed self-defense, and I would have justifiably beat his ass. Look, man, I just pantomime spin your salad. You didn't have to throw fists. You've chosen the lower ground, lower than I have.
So, for those of you that meet us in person,
don't shove your food in my face, otherwise I will spit in it. And don't you dare bring fucking Play-Doh towards me.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna regret that second one later on. I could just see I could foresee a future where people just bring me canisters of Play-Doh. I'm like, hey man, isn't this Play-Doh cool? That's how he talked about it too at the time. He was like, "Oh man, this Play-Doh's so fucking cool, man. Do you want to see?"
He was proud of that Play-Doh,
and
you
Play-Doh.
Demolished it.
Good. He was like,
but see, this is where I kind of have an issue with the second story, because like the first one, where it was a much bigger issue. Like he actually physically touched you, Jacob, right?
Yes.
In your ponytail.
Yes.
I feel that's a much bigger step up than just him. Hey, dude, look at my food. Isn't it so yummy?
Look,
just like, and he got the worst punishment, I think, because he didn't get to eat. That was his meal that he paid for, and he didn't get to eat it. And instead, Tony.
I'm not claiming.
And for Tony, all he has to do is walk behind the bookshelf and get yelled at by our Mr. A.
Look, I'm not saying I'm an angle. I'm not saying I'm an angle or a devil. I'm just saying, just don't fuck with me. It's fine. Everything will be fine.
You will get very different levels of punishment.
Look, 9 times out of 10, I was a really nice guy. I was very nice. I gave time to everybody, even if I didn't like you.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you see, you know what I'm saying. I kept the friendships that I necessarily didn't even care about with people.
What's even funnier is I think I'm worse towards like people.
You treated people we liked worse than anybody I disliked.
Yeah.
like I know of friends we had where you would actively say things like, "Please don't talk to me." Or
oh yeah. Well, he was just in our friend group at the time in high school, and I genuinely did not like him.
Yeah.
But he took that as like I guess he just took that as just like our banter.
Yeah.
He thought I think he legitimately thought it was just banter. No, I genuinely didn't like him.
Yeah. So
and you also thought it was just banter too.
I did. I did think it was just goofs for a long time. And then I think is that when we had skipped
Yes.
a test?
Mm-hmm.
No, we had taken the test, but there were 2 periods of testing, and we just decided it was that math class too. We decided to skip that math class, and I had asked you, I was like, "Do you actually like that guy?" And you're like, "No, I fucking,
No, I said, "Fuck no."
hate him."
Why would you think that?
I don't know. It's just he was always part of our group.
Yeah.
But yeah, he genuinely thought that it was just banter between the two. So you have been meaner to people we were friends with than anyone I've actually ever been mean to. I want that on the record.
Well, yeah, but at least I'm honest about it. Like, I'll genuinely tell you to your face that I...
Because people think you're just having a goof with them.
Well, for some reason, but then that's their fault for misinterpreting that. I'm sorry they misinterpreted.
Look, I think I'm far more honest. Because if I don't like you, then I'm going to actively do something about it. So, okay. I do feel bad about the salad one. I will admit...
Oh, now you're saying, for the record, for everyone here, you genuinely feel bad about it.
Well, okay, maybe not. Feel bad to strong
Christ's sakes, Jacob. What do you feel right now? Do you feel regret? Do you feel remorse? Do you feel shame?
No.
Then what is this bullshit you're saying? What?
I'm saying he's justifiably mad at me, if he is still mad at me, because I don't even know the guy's name. I never learned his name.
Mm-hmm.
If he's still mad about that and he tells his friends like, "Oh yeah, in high school, this fucking guy like one time," yeah, I'm the bad guy in that story.
Okay,
that's okay.
So let me bring up this hypothetical. If you encounter this person on the street, and I said, "Hey, Jacob, that's the dude who you like, who you fucked up his salad,"
yeah,
and he walks up to us and like, "Hey, you're the guy that spit my salad."
My salad,
yeah, and you would say,
"So what? I didn't do anything wrong."
It's not the answer I wanted to hear.
I know what you wanted to hear, because that's not happening.
Why? You're not going to say sorry to him?
What do I have to be sorry about?
Because, first of all, if, like, what? I don't even remember how long ago we graduated, like 6 years ago or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know, like...
Yeah, 6 years. Why does he still care?
Obviously, it affected him immensely.
Did it?
If he's bringing it up, just like, if he wanted to go out of his way, if we were, like, at the mall or something, just like,
dude, he
whoa,
needs
is that...
therapy, then that's not my problem. He's got bigger issues. Look, that was one interaction that took less than 30 seconds. That's not my problem. That's not my problem anymore.
So now everyone here listening to this now realizes what monster I'm dealing with.
I'm not a monster. Look, I fully admit I am the bad guy in that story, right? I fully admit that.
I'm not a monster.
Shut up.
Uh-huh.
I admit I'm the bad guy in that story. But also, I still feel perfectly justifiable with my responses. If he's got to hang up about it, that's his fucking problem. That's not my problem. That's just not my problem.
I guess we agree to disagree. Okay,
What, you want me to say I'm sorry?
I would appreciate it if you said sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you genuinely mean that?
No. No, I just told you that I don't think I did anything wrong. Look, there are other things I feel I've done less that I feel sorry about. This one, though, I feel perfectly justifiable.
Okay, so I mean, well, fuck it. You know what? Let's just talk about Mr. A.
Mr. A. Oh,
let's talk about Mr. A.
Oh my God, that guy was crazy, wasn't he?
He was interesting.
He was really interesting. I don't even know where to begin with him. All I know.
Well, we could share his dead grandmother.
You're gonna have to expand way further.
I was really hoping you were gonna help me here.
No, you lead. You gotta follow through.
Okay, well, it's not. It's just like a
You're
non sequitur.
Laugh.
It was just his non sequitur.
It was his non.
Like anytime, like anyone would like, oh hey, Mr. A, how was your weekend? And he'd be like, oh, my grandmother's dead. And we were just dead silence in the classroom. Like what? It's like, yes, my grandmother is dead. Mm-hmm.
I think I remember one time where he was like talking about someone, like he was helping someone, and they asked him a question, and he's like, no, that's not right. You need to do this, and my grandmother is dead.
It's like his catchphrase. It's like a fucking Animal Crossing character. You know, how sometimes they'll say like, "Oh, Peepo" or something like that. It's just like, "Oh,
Wallabunga."
Hi, nice to meet you. My grandmother's dead.
I didn't like him for a long time when we had his class.
I still don't like him.
He did earn my respect, though.
With what he did at the finale?
Yes.
You have to give the whole story on that one.
Okay, so like, oh man, I don't even know how to lead this. So like throughout this entire class, basically
chaos.
Of chaos. Everybody was like kind of like going out because we went kind of, I don't want to say a rough high school, but it was rough around the edges.
Yes, it was definitely
There were
needed some polishing.
It did. You know, we don't live in like the best area, and so like there's a lot of it's a lot of delinquents at the school who would go out of their way to cause trouble. Like, for example, I remember in the math class I had before his, like the year before his.
Is this the awful one you said?
Yes, this is the awful one. People hated this teacher, and he was so milquetoast that like people would just throw shit at his board. I remember someone threw a whole ass slice of pizza at his board to try and get it to stick.
Is this the one with I can wait. I'll wait.
Yes, that's the one.
No.
Yeah, I actually liked him a lot.
As a person, I didn't think he was a good teacher, but
I thought
yeah,
he was a terrible teacher.
Yeah,
but he like had no authority to him, so no one respected him, and so people like latched onto that and would like ruin his day. Yeah, right. It's awful.
That bums me out.
It does bum me out, and like. Anyway, we'd never get through anything in that class. So this is like the kind of like these same students are the same ones that are like going into Mr. A's class.
Yeah.
With the same attitude of trying to like just push it.
Mm-hmm.
Just push it. And I think that's where he got this like attitude of like just fucking with us back.
Yeah, I think we corrupted him, and maybe it made him grow stronger. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really weird. Like
we changed him. That's all I know. He just changed.
I don't think it was us in particular.
No, it wasn't us.
Just the school in general had changed this man. But anyway, so like he clearly though was of the mind that he never let any of this shit bother him.
Nope.
He come in just as chipper and happy. Like he come in the morning and play like his like traditional Indian music in the mornings.
Yes.
Like you could hear it down the hall. I'm not gonna dare trying to like reinterpret it for you.
Please no. No.
I can't. I don't know enough about Indian music to recreate the sounds for you properly. But he just come in and he'd do his thing, and he just wouldn't give a shit. Like he could have a rough class with people being assholes, would not give a fuck.
Nope.
Which was kind of good though, because every time you met him, it was like you're starting from square one again.
Yeah.
Like he didn't take anything personally, even if you fucked up. So anyway, by the end of the class, some people fucking hated him.
Oh yeah, I did. I sure did.
Yeah, well, you never like did anything to try and like ruin him either.
No.
So this man, the gall of him, passed out these slips of paper to everyone and was like, I want you to write what you thought about the class. You don't have to sign your name. It's all totally anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll turn them back in.
Yep.
I just need to know what you all think of my class.
Yeah. It's like a survey.
Like a survey.
Well, it wasn't even a survey. Well,
that's what he kind of, that's what the kind of...
The impression
that
we got.
Because that's what you do in school.
Yeah.
You give surveys on the classes you just had.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, so this is just a written version of what we normally would do on the computer or whatever.
Yeah, just free form, just like write your thoughts down, you know.
This fucking guy, though. The cajones on this man.
The great twist. Because
he then took this entire stack of papers, sat in the front of the room, and just started reading them out loud.
No, hang on. You're forgetting one part.
Huh?
He shuffled them around, and then he proceeded to hand them back to everyone else, and he made us read it.
That's
he
amazing.
made us read it out loud.
That?
Yes.
Oh, and like some of them would be pretty bad and say,
yes.
And he just sit there and laugh and laugh. That was like the moment I was like, I don't know if you're a good teacher. I don't know if I like you, but now I respect you.
All right. Yes.
Like, is that not one of the most like kind of cool things you've ever seen a teacher who knows his students don't like him do? Like just to twist it on you.
Yeah, I swear literally the first one he picked was for a student to read was just like, oh, you are literally the worst teacher that I've ever had. This is the worst math class I've taken. I hate you or something like that. And it's just everyone just...
I will say no one went racist with
No one... Like it never got profound, which is incredible.
Which is pretty incredible. But like I think mine even said like, I fucking hate your class or something. And I remember being like, do I read it or do I like tell you what the impression is? Like, I think I just read it. I was just like, I fucking hate your class. I don't remember the specifics.
The one you got.
Yeah. Because I think I wrote something like, I enjoyed your class. Thank you for a good year. You know, just something really generic that like, because I didn't care.
Yeah, we had a couple of those, but some people were just like, oh, okay, anonymous. Don't mind if I do.
In a way, though, I really do respect that. Like, what a big brain play from a teacher.
Yeah,
I totally caught me off guard. Totally caught me
Okay,
off guard.
maybe I dislike him a little bit less. I definitely wouldn't take his class again. But
Thankfully, you only ever had to take the one.
thankfully, that was a mistake.
Mhm.
Didn't learn shit.
Yeah. And mainly, though, that was a very basic class.
Well, you took my math class for me multiple times, so
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're a fraud. You're a fraud,
Yeah.
and you should have your degree taken away from you.
Yeah.
You are unqualified.
But it's just I don't know. There weren't like great teachers there anyway at that high school. So I mean, who is he? He's the one that I at least that at least has a memory in my head.
We had fun with him.
We had fun with
We
him.
had fun in his class.
Yes.
And that's a lot more than I can say for a lot of those teachers we had at that school. So is there anything else about high school you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, let's share some high school experiences,
Okay.
Like everyone has those high school experiences. Like that's where your life really
we talked a
brightens up.
little bit on like our intro one about how you used to play Smash Bros all the time on our 3DSs in our animation class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's always like my like go-to high school memory.
Yeah.
And I always remember the one time we got to do it in that math class with Mr. A.
Mm-hmm.
And we had I don't remember his name, but Mark or something, who was sitting there watching us as we played.
Oh yeah.
And you got a mid-air Little Mac KO on me and just instant killed me, and you utterly styled on me, and Mark was just like, oh.
And he was one of like the tough kids too. He was
he was like gave no shits. And
I legitimately thought he was gonna straight up just grab my 3DS and just start playing, and I was just like, oh fuck. But no, he didn't.
no, he was pretty cool actually.
he was pretty cool.
In that instance. Other
In that
times he's an
instance.
asshole.
Yes.
Fuck you, Mark.
Fuck you, Mark. You piece of shit.
It's not your name, but I swear to God. But I don't know. What other things do you like? What's like a quintessential high school thing?
A what?
A quintessential high school memory you have?
Well, I mean, the only other one was where we ditched, like where we were bad boys for once.
Yeah, during that test thing, right?
Yeah, that was a little bit intense.
I mean,
Have you ditched before?
yeah. One other time.
Oh, one other time.
So before I went to our high school where we met, I went to another one, and it was like out here they're called magnet schools.
Mm-hmm.
And if for anyone who doesn't have those, they're like basically advanced placement schools.
That's where the smart kids go.
Yeah, it's where the smart kids go.
Debatable.
Yeah,
From
I
what
sure
I've seen.
debate. I sure debate that. And my brother had gone there a couple years before me, and I had gone in, and I really wasn't doing super well at the time. It was part of why I ended up going to the school. We both went to our public high school.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was having troubles there. It's a long story and really not relevant to anything at hand. But I was doing so bad in a couple of my classes that I hated going because I just felt stupid. Like I felt really dumb. So I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to go. And there was one girl I knew, and I really didn't like her. But she was like a friend of this other friend group I knew. It wasn't like my main one, but it was kind of like a secondary one that I kind of like drifted in and out of. But anyway, she was mentioning like, hey, does anyone want to ditch class with me? I was like, yeah, totally. I don't like you. I don't even really, I don't care. This girl was fucking crazy. She had one time stolen an entire desk and snuck it onto her bus home one time.
How do you sneak a desk onto a bus?
I still wonder that all the time. I genuinely don't know, but I do know that story is 100% true.
And then afterwards, what do you do with the desk?
I don't know.
At that point, it's just stealing to steal.
It is.
There's no...
Or like another time, she snuck an entire bottle of vodka in her bag, which isn't the impressive part, right?
Not
'Cause
too
it's your
crazy.
bag.
Yeah, not too crazy.
She then slammed it in her entire first period.
I just have to ask because I'm not too in with the lingo. When you say slam it, you mean like she like chugged that?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant she literally slammed the bottle in the middle of class.
She slammed
and all the vodka
it
poured
down
out.
and was piss drunk that entire day. Like, this would be the kind of shit she'd do regularly. Anyway, so she'd asked me one time, like, hey, do you want to ditch class? Just random, because she just wanted someone to ditch class with her, because I guess she didn't want to go by herself.
Sure.
I didn't care. I didn't even really know her. She was like a friend of a friend. I didn't really care. But I was like, yeah, I really don't want to go to this math class or chemistry class or whatever. And so then I went with her, and we ended up hiding. She found this area. The way the school was structured, we had these like, I don't know what you call them.
Bleachers?
No. They're like those like little standalone rooms that are like kind of look like a trailer house, but they're not. The portables, I think they were called.
Portables.
Portables.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm having to reach really far back. This is like sophomore year of high school. Like this is, I feel super old now thinking about this. And we were hiding behind the orchestra one.
Okay.
And this was an important detail because they were like the furthest in the corner, and because the orchestra is loud as shit.
Yeah.
Like no one could hear us behind there.
Right.
And we didn't even do anything. We just like waited out and like hung out and just sat out there doing nothing. And I remember being grateful because I didn't have to go to this class, but I was also like, this is fucking boring. This is boring.
Well, you two didn't talk or anything?
We talked, but like, I don't know her. It was just
That's
really,
how you get to know her.
I didn't want to.
Then you could have gotten those deets.
Nah, I'm good. I'm not good. I'm good. She was a lot of trouble, but still, I did appreciate though, because I did use that spot a couple other times because the main class I wanted to skip was chemistry, which was right before lunch for me. So what I would do is if I didn't want to go to the class that day, which I did for a test at one point, like a big test, because I just knew I was going to fail anyway, so I didn't care. I then went out, hid behind them, and then as like the period ended and all the orchestra kids were going back in, I just blended in behind them. And I even remember one kid always being like, I don't think he's part of orchestra. And I just remember, I was just thinking at the time, I was like, don't be a fucking narc. Don't be a narc. Just let it go. Just let it go, dude. And then I just walked through the orchestra kids back in to try and like blend back in.
Fucking Hitman Agent 47.
It's what it felt. I mean, we're all students. The teachers can't tell at a glance. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was really dumb. There was really no purpose to me like trying to ditch. Like in the moment, I remember the feeling of it. But looking back, it's a clear sign that I was struggling and just needed to do something else.
Yeah.
So like if you're like a teenager and you're like trying to ditch class or whatever, it's clear you just need to figure something else out. Yeah. Like you're really shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, nothing's working so far.
Yeah, you really just gotta you gotta figure something else, because all that shit I did in my like sophomore year really fucked up my high school experience. It put me in a bad situation.
Yeah, but then you found, I was gonna say us, but then you found me. So
I mean, that's like the best outcome of it. But like my grade point and stuff like that, I never.
Yeah, so you fucked that shit up real good.
Which was crazy because I had like, because the school I went to, we took extra classes than our days would be longer than they were at our public high school.
Yeah.
So I had a fuck ton of extra credits. So I could have had all these extra credits and then a high GPA. Instead, I just had the credits, which didn't really amount to much.
Yeah.
So that's my moral lesson for you kids. If you're ditching school, it's clear you have another bigger problem that you're trying to avoid. Get help. Talk to your counselor.
Yeah.
Talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Unless they're the problem.
In which case, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm
trying to put a positive spin on this bad experience of mine. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be like, yeah, kids, go ahead, ditch class. It's cool.
Wow, Jacob being a role model after spitting in someone's salad? Wow, that's really interesting.
Look, I'm not saying I was a good person during high school.
No shit, yeah.
Hey!
Uh-huh. Are you really going to tell me, oh, no, good. Oh, yeah,
No,
that's right,
I'm
shut
not.
up.
No. What about you, though? Like, what?
Well, since you've just now sparked a memory in me because of your Hitman 47 story, I actually have a personal little spy moment I had. So, as you know, I was always late to class.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Once I got my car, I was just always late.
Yeah, you were.
And so our little procedure at our school was, or for a very short time, is whenever class started, like as soon as the bell rung, the door would be like locked closed.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And so you couldn't just like sneak in or whatever. You would have to like jiggle the handle
and
it'd be locked and be let in. But in order to be let in, you need a detention slip and you'd have to get it from like our cafeteria, right? And so obviously I was late one time and was just like, oh shit. I didn't feel like going to detention. So I was like, well, how do I go about this? And so I just started walking to the cafeteria and started kind of planning this out in my head. So here's the factors that I had in my head. I had an old as fuck teacher. And I had no idea how the detention procedure went. This would have been my very first detention. So I have no idea what I'm in for.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, since I don't know that, I'm going to play it cool. And hopefully there's no one else getting detention. Or sorry, hopefully there's a shit ton of people getting detention, right?
The opposite of
what I just said. Yeah. So I get to the cafeteria. Luckily for me, there was a shit ton of people that were late that day too. So I was like, all
I
right,
think that was pretty typical.
all right, I'm going to scope this out and I'm going to see what the procedure is. So what the procedure went was like, you hand them your ID
Mm-hmm.
and then they would fill out the paperwork for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was like, well, shit, that kind of sucks.
So they get all the proper information.
Yeah. And then I noticed if you didn't have an ID, they would just give you the paper and the pen, right? And then you would just fill it out. And I was like,
Oh my god.
bingo.
No.
This is where we get in. All right. So I'm feeling confident. I get my
No.
piece of paper. Or sorry, I walk up to the lady. She says, oh, can I have your ID, please? I had my ID, but I was like, oh, I don't have it on me. Sorry.
You lied.
I lied, yes. I was just gonna say I sprinkled the truth here and there, but yeah, I lied.
Your moral flexibility came into play.
Yeah. So I got the piece of paper. I'm just like, all right, what's my next play here? I can't sign my real name or else,
The goose is cooked.
the goose is cooked, so to speak. So I was like, all right. Then remember that first factor. I have an old as fuck teacher, but now it's gonna get a little bit risky because I was thinking, all right, maybe I can falsify this, and I can just give it to them because I don't have my student ID. They sure as shit don't know me.
Yes.
The dean's never seen me before.
Yes.
And that's who I got the piece of paper from. So I was like, well, fuck. And now I have to worry about my teacher, right?
Yeah.
Because it was one of those like bank, it's the bleed through paper.
Oh, it's like the where you has one layer that you write on and then it passes through.
Yeah, and then it marks the second piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to give one slip to them, so that way they know you're going to go to detention, and then you have to give it to your teacher.
So he knows that you're also going to detention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck, what do I do? It's like, all right, well, you know what? Let's risk it for the biscuit, baby. So what I signed my name and my information is the best part of the story. So, I'm a fan of Max Payne 3, right? It's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, just like, I don't think I'm a Max Payne kind of guy.
No, you can never pull that off.
So, however, in the story, his like friend in the game is called Raul Pasos. And so I was like, come on, you look at the color of my skin. I fit that pretty perfectly.
You
You
banked on cultural ignorance.
I sure did.
I respect that. That's kind of hilarious.
And the dude's from South America too, so whatever. So I just signed Raul Pasos.
With all the little extra like dots and lines. In
Oh
it, too.
yeah, gotta get all those squiggles on there. Give the slip to the lady, and she's like, all right, I'll see you in detention. Blah blah blah. I think it was that after school or whatever.
See you later, Raul. Who? Oh shit.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the first part of the plan done. Now we have to do
The riskier part.
the riskier part, the one that I really could have gotten fucked up in. So walk back to class, knock on the door. He has to see that I have the slip in hand. He's like, oh, okay, you got the slip. He opens the door. He lets me in. He's like, oh, can I see your paper, please? I'm like, all right. Here we go. Go time, game face. Sure thing, Mr. H. I'll call him. Mr. H looks at the paper, and for some reason, he's really analyzing this. He's like, huh. All right, thank you, Raul. Have a seat. And I was just like, oh, shit, I did it. And it was just like, all right, play, cool.
Wow.
And yeah, after that, he was old, right? He was, I don't know if he was all there. I don't know if all the marbles were there. Because every time he's done attendance, he's called me as like, oh, Benjamin, are you here? Like, oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
But for that time, he was just like, okay, Raul, you're good. Like, he just, I don't know what happened, but I am so thankful that I didn't get detention.
See, now, I'm really curious what would have happened if he's like, wait a minute, who's Raul? Like, I wonder what the step afterwards is. Is that calling the office again, being like, we got ourselves a jokester here?
I don't know. I'm glad I didn't find out.
Yeah, right? Wow, that's risky.
It was risky, but hey, I didn't want to go to detention, so
I mean, that's fair.
I've already had enough detention in middle school.
You had detention in middle school?
Yeah,
What for?
because I was late.
God. But you didn't even drive yourself. How do you be late in middle school? Did you take the bus or something? Did you walk?
No, I took the bus. How did I get detention? Because I wasn't a bad kid. It's just, I
don't know.
for a fact I
You're
was
kind
late.
of proving to me that you were.
Well, it's because I was late. I was just I was an
You were
indifferent
indifferent,
student.
yeah.
I
That's
just didn't
fair.
care. And that's a whole another story for another day. But yeah, I was late, and I remember I'd always get detention in middle school.
I never ever got detention. I never once got detention. I don't even know how detention works in public high school.
You sit in the cafeteria for like an hour doing homework or whatever, and then you go home.
That's a punishment?
Yeah.
How? Because it wastes your time?
Yes. I found it a good punishment.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
pissed off. It's like, why am I here? I could be playing video games at home.
Well, I guess when you put it like that, I guess I would have been grumpy about it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for me it would have been because I always got a ride to and from school.
Yeah.
And the punishment would have come when I had to go text my mom and be like, hey, I got detention.
Well, yeah, that's also that's the second part of the punishment. You know?
If my parents were big in education, they would never let that slide.
Well, I just never told them I got detention. I just said I was staying after school.
Clever. Clever. I'm sure that worked super well. So wait, so that, like, I know that schools have, like, the late bus.
Yeah.
Is that just for kids who get detention then?
No. It's for people who take the bus and
do,
miss the
like,
bus.
clubs and I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Ignore that. I'm going to cut that one out. That's a really obvious answer. I don't know why I didn't think
Good thinking there.
I'm sorry. I'm dumb.
Yeah. And that's why I threw away my report cards at the end of the semester.
Oh my God, you did, didn't you?
That was good times. Good times.
I could have never gone away with that in school. I can't believe you did that.
I mean, she asked, but my mom asked, but she never really cared. It's like, hey, when's your report card coming in? It's coming in soon.
Yeah, they'll do it in the mail.
Okay.
I guess it got lost in the mail. Sorry, Mom.
School was fun, you know.
Sounds like a lot of battles. Not worth it to me.
I was lazy. I want to play video games. I didn't care. As long as I got to play video games, I was happy.
Now, kids, don't be like Ben. He's a terrible role model.
Don't be like Ben and Jacob, kids. Remember.
I mean, learn from adult Jacob, but don't be like younger Jacob.
Don't be like younger Ben.
But don't learn from older Ben either. He's not a great role model either.
I still do bad stuff.
You still do bad stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we're at time. I think we're gonna call it there.
All right. Yeah, I think that was a good
school themed episode.
Yeah. You know, we still have plenty more, but you know.
Yeah, I think we gotta call it there though. We're at about time. We're about just shy of an hour and a half. So I want to thank you all for listening to the Lucky 13 podcast.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember, we have other stuff. I gotta do my plug, Jacob. Shut up for a moment. We have YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We have Twitch. That's twitch.tv//resource_13. We stream stuff.
I thought it was underscore.
What?
You said underscore earlier.
I said underscore. That's what I said. Twitch.tv/resource_13. There you go. That's it. I'm done. I'm Ben.
We'll work on the plugs. I'm Jake. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.
Check it. Hey, people.